Good morning, all. This is Brian from Earth to Hearth. Yeah, so here, as you can see, we have redone two of our garden beds here. In previous videos, you'll see we'll have these were two older beds that were original when we got the property. And they were facing the other way, and we wanted to line them up with two of our other beds over here, just so we were line up. And we're going to do more of those tunnels that we have on the other side. We're going to do one in tunnel for these two beds, and then those two beds over there. I want to take the opportunity to kind of talk about how why we build or at least I build these garden beds the way I do, and the sort of reasoning behind it, and so hopefully that maybe helps you make a decision. So for me, these garden beds are 3 feet wide, at least from the end caps, and then about 12 feet long. The length is less important as the width, in my opinion, and the reason being, and why over time I have gotten rid of and generally don't like to do any much longer, is I have a bad back, and so having to bend over to reach stuff can be a pain. And even with this one at about 3 feet, I can still reach all the way across the bed to get at what I want to get at if I need to. It's easy, once you start getting wider, the square bed over here, and I can show it, it's really hard to get to the center of the bed no matter where you are. So here, there's no issue getting to the center from, I don't need to reach all the way across. I can if I can, but on any side, I can get to everything really easily without having to really stretch. Even in the very center, it's really easy here to get straight to the center. I don't have to worry about it when it comes to eating. And then anything on that side, I can just move over and do that. And the specific reason also for this is at 36 inches, at 3 feet, I can still do multiple rows. So I can do 2 rows of potatoes in here comfortably. So I can still fit 2 rows in. And then really from there, anything else, you can fit multiple rows of lots of other things. So it's really, that still allows me to do things that need space. And need a lot of space. So let's say I want to do corn. I could comfortably do 3 rows of corn, maybe 4, depending on how exactly you want to space it. If I wanted to do maybe 8-inch rows, but then space the columns out by about 12 inches, that'd be a way to do it. Again, there's things there, but you do want to give something like corn good spacing, and then as well for things like tomatoes and peppers. But you can still get 2 to 3 rows of your big garden vegetables, and then still have plenty of room. Like if you just want to do beets, lettuce, carrots, those sorts of things, you could easily do 5 to 6 rows still, with a good intense planning spacing. Now I also do treated lumber. I know that can be controversial, but at this point, all pressure treated lumber in the United States is safe for use. They have to be by EPA standards. Old lumber, and I do forget the cutoff date, I might throw that in the description below, was not safe, and that was because they use arsenic in the treatment process. They don't use arsenic anymore, and there's other things that have changed. But pressure treated lumber is safe for use in the garden. It has to be safe for projects with drinking water, I believe is my understanding. So it has to be safe for drinking water uses. So if you can drink it, then it's safe for eating as well. This is interior lumber, not exterior, which would be like your decking, which I do have a couple beds made out of that, so those will last longer. Cedar would be ideal, but lumber is kind of expensive right now. So this is what we chose to go with, just simply because of cost. It is safe to use. I've used it on other projects. Will it last as long as something like cedar? No. Cedar will generally, for our climate here in the Pacific Northwest, on the west side of the Cascades, cedar would be probably the best choice in terms of wood. Exterior or decking type wood products would be the second best, and then this would be sort of not your worst, but would still provide good. Like I said, the ones we've had have been in for 3+ years. I mean, and between here and stuff we've had at our old house, I have yet to have one of this material rot out yet. Here, I'll kind of show you how we do the bracketing, which helped make it really easy to put it together and cheap. So here you can see I just get 2 of these brackets. You can get those in the lumber section of any of your hardware store, and then the right screws are usually right there, right next to it. And then I do 2, so I have 1 here and I got 1 down here, and then that way don't really have to screw around with it being perfect. These are just beds, just need them to come together. And by doing it this way, if I don't have anyone to help me, I can do this on my own. You know, just need a screwdriver, that's it. You know, the box of screws comes with the right bit, so you don't even have to go searching for that. Just buy the screws, buy the brackets, screw them in. You don't have to fully do all the screws. Again, you're not looking to, you're not making framing here for a house. If you want, you could totally use a wood filler to make sure the cracks are seamless. It's not something that really concerns me personally, but it's something you could do. I think for these beds, we're looking at about, it was $150 for the lumber and the parts, which is expensive, but that's just what lumber is right now. But hey, I couldn't find cinder blocks either, so that really wasn't even an option. So it's the world we live in today. And this matches what we've already done. Now, the soil is the original soil that were in the other 2 beds. Oh, looks, that's something we found. I don't know if that's garlic. It's like a single clove. I got some more compost to add to top dress, and then we're going to I got some other transplants to put in and some other seeds to transplant, or not to transplant, but to plant in here before we head out. So yeah, hopefully you enjoy and find that helpful. This is Brian. Like, subscribe,